All right, this will be a trade recap for Monday, January 12th, 2026. Let's get into it. Kind of an interesting day today, but yeah, did not do the best myself, so hopefully others did better. All right, so getting into this, as usual, trading SPY and Qs. Mainly watching Qs on this one. As you can see, typical, the blue levels that get plotted last night and adjusted this morning, all there before the market opens, and then they don't get touched. Along with trend lines and anything else. These red lines here, these were risk levels. So basically if it exceeded, confirmed above that, I was gonna stop out of a trade should it not work, which is actually on the first trade exactly what happened. So we gapped down overnight, and things were looking fairly weak. So we go into the open as it was coming up into this level, started in, added this level, added again at the trend, came up fairly strongly. So it's one of those things where it's like a little bit of a short squeeze possibly going on, considering it was a pretty sizable gap down. And then, yeah, confirmed above and stopped me out. So this one was actually a red trade. And again, I would say a normal size red trade. It's not anything huge or abnormal because it shouldn't be. If you find yourself in this situation, you're probably using way too much size, especially if you feel your emotions getting, again, heightened in these moments. It's like that should be a warning sign to you. But yeah, so kind of what that looks like on the entry side. Pull that up, basically just worked it up, worked into the position, and then, yeah, started to pull out a little bit, get a little size when it pulled back a little bit. The odd thing about this one was, and this is an area that I need to work on, there was, again, some chop in here where it was possible to get out green a couple of times, somewhere in between like scratch a little slightly green. And honestly, being a Monday morning with a gap down and seeing the volatility come in, should have taken it. And that's on me. It's like I did not. So it's definitely a lesson learned there. And again, it's one of those things where sometimes when you have these red trades, don't necessarily look at them as a loss or a drawdown on your account. That's kind of the price of tuition. It is experience, it's learning. So again, with that being said, you take the loss and then you just move on, honestly, because there are always other opportunities out there. So again, sometimes take a moment, clear your head, kind of wait for the next setup, basically, or again, opportunity based upon your levels to, again, take the next trade. So with that, again, here's, again, another trade on Qs. Again, coming in up here, again, kind of came in, started basing at this top. And then, again, when it pulled back, again, small trade, but again, still pulled back the loss a little bit. So again, that one was clean. Ultimately, again, it did pull back and do, again, a level of support that had formed earlier in the open session and then took right off. But again, is able to capture at least some of that. And then up on, again, SPY. Again, SPY came up into this level up here in trend where, again, there was an opportunity to, again, capitalize on, again, a valid trade. Again, and that helps minimize any loss that was suffered. Because that's the thing, it's like these stocks will give you opportunities to get back green or to, at the very least, minimize a loss. And the big thing there is, like, if you take a loss first, is to not let your emotions kind of get, redlined to where all of a sudden you're locking up and you, again, can't do anything else and like basically you're done on the day. Instead, kind of reset if you can. Just clear your head. Again, stay in the game, kind of as a weird saying, but again, don't let your emotions, again, rule the day, basically. So if you can clear your head, reset emotionally, then again, look for the next opportunity, and then you can potentially, again, either reduce, eliminate, or even come back green on the other side. And that's a huge thing. So again, if you can manage to do that when you have these kinds of days, it makes all the difference. Because again, you're not going to just take a loss, let it eat away at you, and then constantly, again, kind of repeat that cycle, because that's really what will grind an account down. You need to keep your emotions in check. You need to stay disciplined, follow trade plans, and not get really super squirrely when things just don't work out. And that's the thing, is like, even though you build a trade plan of really valid levels, sometimes they just don't work. I know for me, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So again, that's all you can do, is kind of just roll with the punches, let it roll off your back when you take a red trade. And again, what is that next opportunity? Where is that reset trade? And that's more or less all I got for today. Other than that, it was, again, really interesting price action. And it's, again, just more screen time, more experience, good learning opportunity. And yeah, I will catch you guys here on the next one. And yeah, see where we go from there. All right. Have a good one.